Detective Kimberly Stanton's office inside Crestmoor Police Department was anything but warm. The walls were a dull, uninspired grey, giving the room a sterile, almost suffocating feel. A filing cabinet in the corner overflowed with case files, their edges curling from constant use. Papers were stacked haphazardly on her desk, some in folders, others left loose, as if they had been flipped through too many times to be neatly put away. A half-empty cup of coffee sat on the desk, the ring staining beneath it showing how many times she had refilled and abandoned it throughout the day. The only personal touch in the room was a framed photograph sitting just out of reach on her desk. A 19-year-old Stanton stood in the middle of the photo, looking younger, softer, but her sharp brown eyes were the same. Beside her, a stern-looking man with grey-streaked black hair and a badge on his chest rested a firm hand on her shoulder. Their resemblance was undeniable. Next to them, a woman stood with similar features, except her eyes held warmth, something Stanton's had long lost. No one asked about the photo, and she never brought it up. The air in the room was thick with tension as one by one, each of Abby's friends was called in separately. Melanie's interrogation Melanie sat stiffly in the chair across from Stanton, arms folded tightly across her chest. She wasn't a fidgeter, but her fingers dug into her arms like she was holding herself together with sheer force. Detective Stanton, so Melanie, tell me about the last time you saw Abby. Melanie swallowed hard. She had replayed this moment 1,000 times in her head, searching for something, some detail she missed, some sign she should have caught. Melanie, it was at the party she was upset so we left. I walked her down the street, but I had to go back to grab our phones from Jamie. She told me she'd wait there for me, but when I got back, she was gone. Detective Stanton, you left her alone? Melanie's chest tightened. She already blamed herself. Hearing it out loud made it worse. Melanie, I was only gone for a few minutes. I thought she'd be okay. It was a safe street. Stanton tilted her head slightly, gaze unreadable. Would you still call it safe, knowing what we know now? Melanie flinched. Detective Stanton, did Abby ever mention anyone bothering her? Is someone following her? A person she was afraid of? Melanie, no, not really. I mean, she had a lot on her plate, but nothing like that. Detective Stanton, you mean her breakup? Melanie hesitated, then nodded. Melanie, Giveon was awful to her. Treated her like she was disposable. The second she told him she was pregnant, he ran straight to Diana. Detective Stanton, and how did Abby handle that? Melanie's breath hitched as a memory crashed into her, the conversation with Abby on the swing set 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I can do this without him. It's all so scary, Mel. She squeezed her eyes shut for a moment before answering. Melanie, she was heartbroken, but she wasn't the kind of girl to just run away. Stanton tapped her pen against the desk, considering her words. Maybe not, but heartbreak makes people vulnerable, and vulnerability makes them easy targets. A chill ran down Melanie's spine. Sophie's interrogation Sophie sat in the chair, arms wrapped around herself, her hoodie sleeves pulled over her hands. Stanton had seen this kind of body language before, guarded, anxious, defensive. Detective Stanton. You were the one who found the photo of Abby on Chatme, correct? Sophie nodded, fidgeting with the hem of her sleeve. Sophie, yeah, it just popped up. It was going viral. Stanton slid a printed copy of the image across the desk. Abby, sitting somewhere unknown, her face pale, her eyes hollow. The words, "Come find me or I die," were scrawled across the bottom like a death sentence. Detective Stanton, what was your first reaction? Sophie's hands curled into fists. I screenshotted it and sent it to Melanie and Jamie. I didn't know what else to do. Detective Stanton, did you try tracking the location? Sophie, you can't, no one chat me. The whole point of it is disappearing messages. No metadata, no traces. Stanton's expression darkened. Convenient. Sophie's breath hitched. Detective Stanton, did Abby have enemies? People who would want to hurt her? Sophie hesitated. Sophie, I don't know, but maybe Giveon should be your first stop. Stanton smirked slightly. She had already considered it. Jamie's interrogation Jamie sat stiffly, her expression unreadable, her hands locked together on the desk. Unlike the others, she wasn't fidgeting. She just sat there, silent. Detective Stanton, you had Melanie and Abby's phones at the party. Jamie nodded. Detective Stanton, so Abby didn't have a way to contact anyone when she disappeared. Jamie's jaw tightened. Jamie, no. Detective Stanton, how does that make you feel? Jamie's nostrils flared. Jamie, like shit. Stanton didn't react. She let the silence settle. Jamie exhaled, shoulders sinking slightly. Jamie. Like if I hadn't taken their phones, maybe Abby could have called for help. More silence. Then Detective Stanton. Tell me about Abby's home life. Jamie blinked, caught off guard by the shift. Jamie, her mom works non-stop, her dad. Not exactly father of the year. I think she felt like no one was there for her except Melanie. Detective Stanton. And Giveon? Jamie's lips pressed into a thin line. Jamie, Giveon is a liar, a selfish, manipulative asshole. And if you ask me if anyone had a reason to make Abby disappear, it's him. After the girls left, Stanton leaned back in her chair, flipping through her notes. Each girl had given her something useful, pieces of a puzzle that were starting to take shape. She pulled out her phone and dialed. Detective Stanton, get me everything you can on Giveon Banks, and pull any reports on domestic disputes at the Castillo residence. There's something here. I can feel it. She hung up and glanced back at the photo of Abby on her desk. The game had begun. Friday, April 11th, Chapter 5. Every second counts.